Police are confirming a male subject was shot and killed by police.
He put his hands in the air and he started to get down, but the officer fired several more shots.
Several thousand people have gathered here behind Captain Ron Johnson, the man who is in charge of trying to keep security.
We lost a young man, Michael Brown, in heartbreaking and tragic circumstances. He was 18 years old.
My name is Cedric the Entertainer. Ron Johnson and I both grew up near Ferguson, and we've been friends for decades. That's why Mike Brown's death and what followed hurt so deeply.
That was an early look at tonight's all-new CBS primetime special, 13 Days in Ferguson.
The show, which airs tonight at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 3, is looking at the protests, the riots, and the aftermath following the 2014 police shooting of Michael Brown Jr. in Ferguson, Missouri.
Now, today marks exactly 10 years since that shooting, and joining us to talk more about the special are Cedric the Entertainer and retired lead task force officer Captain Ron Johnson. Both of you, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Now,
Kara, Nicole, how y'all doing?
Good, good. I know we're going to go back and forth. You had some nice palm trees behind you.
Yes. I just planted these this morning.
Wow.
I was watching, some of the trailers and whatnot. First of all, I can't believe it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
But talk about the personal connections that you had, not only to this story, but to each other. If we can start with you, Cedric.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about after the Michael Brown shooting, that whole area is some place where Ron and I grew up as young men. That street had all of the restaurants and places where we would go and hang out. So to see it on television, to see it militarized with tanks out there, see people in the street throwing Molotov cocktails, this was something that was, very, visceral to me. It popped up about a place where I grew up. I knew the street, the corners, the signs, the stores, and you watching this, in a totally different light. It looks like we're in another country. And then to have my friend to be, put in the lead, it's also something very scary at the time. You kind of feel, when he's a police officer and they're blaming the police, why throw my guy up in the front? It's not his fault. And that's what, we really wanted to reflect when Ron became the lead the lead police officer dealing with the civil unrest after the shooting.
I can't imagine what it must be like, to see something like that playing out and just hitting home in the way that it did for you. And how did each of you become a part of this project?
Well, I wrote a book, 13 Days in Ferguson, and Cedric was a big part of that. And his agent, Eric Rohn. And so it started there. And in those early days of my leadership there in Ferguson, Cedric was out in LA, but he called and said that he was concerned but supportive of my leadership. And so that's kind of how this has come together. And it is our community. It's where we grew up. And my mother still stays that bike ride away from Ferguson in the house that I grew up in. And so I had a lot of self-interest, a lot of personal interest in what was going on.
Mm-hmm. And Ron, I'm curious with you, when you found out you were going to lead the whole thing, what was that internal feeling like? And also, are we better? Have we learned since this happened 10 years ago?
We've made some small steps. I think police, men and women across this country, are trying to get better. I think there's some training and things that are making it better, but we have such a long way to go. It seems like every week or every few days we hear another story across our country. And so we've got a lot of work to do, and we can't just forget. And I think this tells us that we've got work to do. And I think that's what this special brings about, that we can't forget. I think that's what happened. I think for years we thought this had gone away, but there's really just a scab on it. We have to heal this situation in our country.
And Cedric, what do you hope viewers will take away from this special?
Yeah, I think, pretty much the same thing. It says it's been 10 years since this incident, but we've dealt with so many afterwards, and still seems to be a very significant thing that we deal with in our communities. And so we just want people to know that Ferguson is still healing from. We're still trying to figure out better ways. There is communication. There has been growth, and that we just want to show people that example. But we have to work on getting better and stronger legislation and protection and relationships between community and police, especially the Black community.
Cedric the Entertainer, Captain Ron Johnson, thank you so much for being here to share your stories. And we want to let everyone know, just as a reminder, the CBS Primetime Special, 13 Days in Ferguson, airs tonight at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 3. Thanks, guys. And you can also stream it live on demand or on Paramount Plus. And still ahead, it's Food Truck Friday, so we hope you're hungry. Nourish Food Truck is here. We've got dietitian-approved eats that are still delicious and good for you.
Oh my gosh, we had some earlier on 9A. Wait until you have some of that, Kara. I'm going to tell you exactly what to eat.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. And then,
Nourish, I love the name. I want to be nourished.
Yes, so you will be. And later, live music, hot air balloons, pizza, and much more. Renee Danino is here with her never-ending list of fun things happening in our state this weekend. Great Day Connecticut will be right back right after this.